that shows you that. See, that's why we use these articles, man, because it's synonymous with the prophecy. That's how you watch and pray. Okay, so that's right there. That's heavy. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
Right?
And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand.
Right, and I will smite thy bow. The bow is what? The bow is the silo that the nuclear missile is contained in. Right. Because the nuclear missile is the actual arrow. All right, and as we always bring out, that's the code name for a missile, is an arrow. Right. They had the movie Broken Arrow, which means the stolen missile. Right. So the silo is the bow. Which the Most High said he's gonna what? Read that again.
And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand.
Right, go ahead.
And will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand.
Right, meaning what? They're gonna lose control over those nuclear missiles. And like I said, it was an incident where a chariot they recorded it. They recorded the so-called UFO over top of the silo, and they started the countdown process of detonation. You know, so but the Most High is gonna do that to all these auto missiles, man, and cause them to all be shot off. That's how. Because remember, this is the Most High. This is gonna be his destruction, man, and he's gonna be glorified. His son is gonna be glorified. Yahweh Shai. And it's gonna be, and this destruction is gonna be greater than the destruction of Egypt.
That's right.
So you know that this is gonna be a total devastation, man.
That's why I said, no longer shall it be said that the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Yep.
But it shall be said, the Lord liveth, which brought up the seed of Israel, the seed of Abraham, out of the land of the north, or the north country.
Yeah, it's in 2-3 places where the Lord is.
Jeremiah 23 and it's in another spot.
Yeah,
Jeremiah
16
and 23.
Yeah, so this is gonna be the new talked about thing.
Yep.
You see? Go ahead.
Okay, that was the point I know. So I'm gonna jump back to Ezekiel 38 and verse 7.
Okay.
It says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them."
Right, so Russia is stepping up to the plate and being a guard unto all of those countries, those neighboring countries that border them, because they got a vested interest there. And number one, it's Bible prophecy. It is Bible prophecy.
That's right. Musa said it's gonna happen.
That's right.
It says, "And after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword." And
right, which is Israel.
Right.
Brought back from the destruction.
That's right.
From nuclear destruction, because we're gonna rebuild. See, America, once America's destroyed, that's gonna be it. The scriptures tell you that in Isaiah, that America is gonna be a desert.
That's right.
It's gonna be a dwelling place for desert animals.
Doleful creatures.
Doleful creatures.
ravenous birds, yeah.
You know? But now the land of Israel, the Lord said he's gonna return it back into the Garden of Eden.
Yep.
He's gonna, you know, so it's gonna get brought back from the destruction. Once the Lord sets it, because we're gonna go back into that land. And the righteous, and then that's when the scripture, it was Isaiah 5:1, or was it 2:1? Isaiah 2:1. Then shall they learn war no more in that day when Israel's returned to their land.
Right, yeah.
Showing you that the real Israelites are not in their land, because it's nothing but war and turmoil going on over there.
That's right.
All right, but then that's when the war is gonna be over.
Yep.
When the so-called black men, which are the true Israelites, along with the rest of the tribes, are established back in their land, ruling over all the other nations. All right.
It says, "In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste." But
right, against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste. Because why? That land right now is cursed, and then it's gonna get even cursed even more after the destruction.
Right, and what shows you that is why is it the so-called Jews have to bring in what they call in their Yiddish bullshit kibbutz? Kibbutz is trees. That's what them Yiddish-speaking fucks call a tree, kibbutz.
Yep.
You know, in their Yiddish language. Why you gotta import trees there and grass and things like that? Because the land is burned out. The land is not what it used to be back in the ancient world, where it was plentiful. That is the land where the garden eastward in Eden was right there in the Middle East. The entire earth was a paradise back then. Like a tropical paradise. Vegetation everywhere. Greenery, vegetation, fruits, vegetables. Everywhere. That land is not like that no more.
Now it's cursed.
It's cursed. So the fact that you got to import the kibbutz in there shows you that that prophecy has not been fulfilled, the one that the brother was speaking of. And I believe it says the same thing in Micah. I think maybe Micah, the 4th or the 5th chapter. It says the same thing about, you know, when the people of the Lord return to the land, people's nations shall learn war no more.
Right.
They shall turn their weapons into plowshares and pruning hooks for tilling the land.
Right.
The nations are not doing that now. Instead of them taking their money and putting it into agriculture, they're putting it into military. So that shows you right there. Go ahead, Art.
It says, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
Yeah, meaning all of Israel.
Right.
Starting with the elect. Then the rest of Israel is going to come back through the elect.
You see, it said what? It was brought forth out of the nations. Because Israel, the angels, which are the reapers, are going to gather Israel scattered from the four corners of the earth. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels, like it says in Matthew 25.
Sift the house of Israel.
Yep.
Like it says in Amos.
Like as corn is sifted in the seed, and shall not the least grain fall. Right?
Okay.
So that's the time that we're in. Go ahead.
Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. It says, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. You know, I was talking about their military.
Right, your military. Your military is basically going to cover the land just like how the clouds cover the sky, basically.
So, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought.
Right, things come into thy mind. What is that? That's them angels working on your mind. That's going to be them angels putting them thoughts in your mind.
To destroy America.
To destroy America, because now that thought you're going to think is like, so fighting's going to be going on there in the Middle East, but then you're going to get this miraculous idea. Let's take it to the shores of America too.
Yep.
And that's what's coming.
Yep. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages.
Which is America. The land of unwalled villages. You and anybody can sneak in over the border here in America. You got all kinds of people smuggling things in over the border in America. Not only drugs are smuggled into America, people are smuggled into America. People pay to come over here to be in America. People are smuggled into America. Go ahead.
And a wall in the ancient world represented the defense of the city, you know?
Right.
The
walls of the city.
Defense of the kingdom. America is defenseless against the missile. That's why they're pushing to set up that missile defense system over there in Europe right now. That's a big sticking point between Russia and the Americans right now.
Yep.
Because Russia says, no, that's too close to our land, you know?
Yep.
That's too big of a threat for our national defense. So, you know?
That's right.
I think they want to set it up in Turkey, I believe. I think it's in Turkey, the missile defense system. So America is basically defenseless, you know? They're the land of unwalled villages. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest.
Right, well, that's over here in America.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's, sleeping. They all into partying, Disney World. They all caught into the bread and circuses.
Bread and circuses, they into the game.
Into the game. That's what they're all about. Go ahead.
It says, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates.
Right, neither bars nor gates to keep people out. That's why you got people, and it's done by design, right? They do that on purpose, so now they're going to justifies them for what? Basically attacking the American citizens in the name of security and terrorism. In the name of, for your security, since we got terrorists coming in and out of here, doing this and that, we got to, take your rights away.
Yep.
And now the government has to control everything that you do. Basically they're putting you as a slave. Then eventually they're going to institute the chip, which now speaking on the chip, and this shows you that they're leading into it. Over there in Japan now, they got banks that they're using. They don't have no more ATM. ATM. You go to the ATM, you put your hand print. What do you call that when it reads your hand?
Scanner.
A biometric
hand scanner or a fingerprint.
A fingerprint.
You're gonna have to go that way.
A fingerprint. You know, and that's how it operates. It reads your fingerprints, and then
verifies your identification.
Right, and then you take out whatever money you want. Right. So now, if they're doing that, what's next? Next, they're gonna put the chip in it. You know, and then all you have to do is just scan it. See, it's all they doing things leading up into a so-called cashless society. These things are happening.
Yep.
Yeah, just all like right. On one note that this brother said, I was checking out an article or a news article. It might have been an article on Russia Today where they were talking about how people who are arrested, you can turn down 35th. People that were arrested for the Occupy Wall Street thing, they were arrested, you know, after they passed that the trespass bill, the HR 347, and after they were arrested and before they let them go, one of the conditions of them letting them go was they had to let their irises be scanned, or else they was gonna hold on to them a lot longer. So they did that to categorize people and put them into one of them, that big gigantic computer they got. They got a computer I'm hearing about. I don't want to say the wrong state. I'm thinking I'm hearing that it was supposed to be in Utah or something like that. It could be another state where they got a whole entire computer complex which takes in the data, which is going to take everybody's data on file. Whatever your handprint, your footprint, whatever your iris scan is. Much like the movie Minority Report, which everywhere they went, they were scanning the irises, and they knew exactly who people were.
So that's what they're doing.
Yep.
That's what these devils are doing. You know, is it more on that?
That was the point, though.
Okay, and so pretty much, you know, with that, you know, hopefully brothers got edified, and as your brothers know, we at the end, and these are things that are happening. These prophecies are coming to pass, and that's what it's all about, pushing these prophecies. So, you know, I don't know if you got any closing words on it.
That's it. We pretty much summed everything up.
All right, so we are up the street from the camp, so we gonna get ready to go and speak out on the street. With that, we're gonna say shalom to you, brother.
Shalom.
Shalom.